Hello everyone, thank you for joining us and welcome you all to the live international webinar organized by CGC and Jerry. My name is Kamal and I look up the International Affairs Department of CGC. Students, as you already know that we have a Department of International Affairs where we provide the international opportunities like exchange programs, some credit transfer programs to the students here. So today, on this day, today we are going to discuss the topic Introduction to Information Security, Cyber Threats and Defense from the impeccable speakers and professors of University of Missouri, St. Louis. UMSL is the largest public research university in Eastern Missouri with more than 16,000 students. In UMSL, it's a tier 1 national research university according to World Report. Students, we have Miss Priyanka Aluwalia. She is the South Asia Manager and in-country representation of UMSL. I request Miss Priyanka to please proceed and welcome the speakers, impeccable speakers to the students here.
Great. Thank you so much, Kamal, for such a wonderful introduction. And we are really happy to be here. And I'm sure this is going to be very learning session for our students, those who are joining us today. And I have visited Chandigarh Group of Colleges once, and I've always wanted to visit again and again and speak to the students, let them know about University of Missouri, St. Louis and programs and all. So I'm sure one day I'll definitely try and visit. So I would like to introduce our expert speakers and our esteemed faculty from University of Missouri, St. Louis. And I'm sure this session is going to be very memorable for all our students because the kind of knowledge which they're going to get from our professors. So I would like to welcome Dr. Dinesh Mirchandani, who is a professor and department chair of information technology, and Dr. Vijay Anand, who is associate professor of information technology. We also have Miss Lian with us, and she is with University of Missouri, St. Louis, and she is taking care of our international department and all. So before actually I pass on the dice to our professors, I would like to give a little bit brief about St. Louis because if we are knowing about University of Missouri, St. Louis, then let's know more about the location. So I'll be sharing little bit details on where we are. As you can see the screen right now, this is USA, and the mustard color, or many of you might see it as yellow, this is Missouri, and we are here. St. Louis is a county in Missouri, and I would say it's a very vibrant and diverse and very, I would say, full of life environment because of so many reasons, which I'm going to share. There are actually a lot of attractions in St. Louis because student life is not just about academics, it is also about making hold of those memories which we actually cherish all throughout our life. So it's also about having fun and enjoying. So we have Gateway of Fog, we have different games like baseball game, blue hockey games, Forest Park, which is even bigger than what's here in New York City, which is spread across 300 acres. So be it if you're a fan of theaters, music, so I would say St. Louis is one of the place for you. And if you're looking for some free attractions or some very interesting attractions, I would say we have St. Louis Zoo and Art Museum for you. The best part is that St. Louis is a metropolitan area, and it is amongst the 20 largest metropolitan areas of the USA. At the same time, the cost is low, so you will not be shedding a lot of money at the same time while studying in a metro area. And we all agree what are the benefits to stay in a metro area as compared to staying in Chandigarh, and that too if we talk about area like Sangrur or somewhere else. One important factor is related to safety and comfort is the travel, like how would you commute from one place to another because coming in from different countries. So we have all sort of transport option, be it rail system, public buses, train, Uber, sharing apps of that sort. So we have all sort of transport options available. Even airport is also there at a very short distance from our campus. St. Louis has the third fastest foreign-born population out of the other 20 metro areas. So there are a lot of foreigners around. So you will not just get to know about the culture of USA or about St. Louis people. However, the people, those who have made St. Louis as their home, coming in from different part of the world. And with the help of St. Louis Mosaic Project, there are a lot of immigrants those who are coming over and they are starting up their businesses, which is a great option for our students, those who look for internship and work options. It's a multicultural city, so you will not just be enjoying the different attractions which are there. However, you will also get to know people from different part of the world, enjoy their festivals and their culture, know more about them. Best part about our Indian community is that if you want to be be connected with your people, and this is what happens, especially when we are abroad. We miss our roots, we miss our people. So somewhere we want to be around our people. So I would say we have India Association of St. Louis for that. We have Mahatma Gandhi Center. We have different social media groups, which is like, one of them is Facebook group also. Cricket is something which is in most of our blood. So even there are cricket leagues wherein you can play, enjoy, and watch cricket. All the major festivals, because what happens is that when we are abroad, we call up our family and just wish them happy Diwali and happy Holi. But somewhere we are missing that we cannot actually enjoy those festivals. This will not happen in St. Louis, because we have all the major festivals which are celebrated, be it Holi, Diwali, Republic's Day. Everything is celebrated in St. Louis. Food, we love our food. So if you want to be it cook your own food, though we have a residence option wherein all three meals options are available. But if in case you want to have your snacks like Maggie or Haldiram snacks or whatever, you'll find that everything in St. Louis. So we have around good 5 grocery stores within the drive of, I would say, 30 to 40 minutes, wherein you can get your grocery. Indian movies also, if you want to watch your Indian movies right there in St. Louis, you can do that, because there are regular 14 movie shows which are played in St. Louis. And the good thing is they're all new releases. So you will not be missing on the new releases of your favorite actors, and be it the kind of movie, maybe drama or whatsoever movie you're looking at. For worship, we have Hindu temple, we have Sikh temple, we have mosque, we have Buddhist temple and all. So I would say St. Louis is a place which is an answer for all the queries which most of the parents or the student have, be it in terms of style of living, be it in terms of the community which is there, the cost. So St. Louis is an answer for all, and it is full of life, very vibrant, with a lot of welcoming people, and you will be meeting few of them right now also. So you will be able to understand whatever I was saying, I was so correct on that. So now I'll pass on the dice to our esteemed faculty so that they can give you the details on the topic for today. So thank you all. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Priyanka. And students, it's truly a pleasure to speak to you. I say that because I came to the United States about 30 years ago. I'm originally from Bombay. So many, many years ago, I was in your shoes looking to come to the United States to further my own education. And it's really been an awakening for me, what I've learned, what I've been able to appreciate, which is why I am happy that you are considering studying in the US and considering UMSL. I'm also very grateful to Priyanka for organizing this presentation. Also very grateful to my colleagues, Dr. Vijay Anand and Ms. Leanne Constantine, who are also here with me. And last but not least, Kamal and Jim. I'll start by talking a little bit about my department. And the department is known as Information Systems and Technology. I encourage you to visit our website. It is ist.umsil.edu. We include information technology and cybersecurity under our umbrella. We look at ourselves as creating tomorrow's technology and cybersecurity leaders. Our programs span undergraduate degrees in information systems and technology and cybersecurity to master's degrees in IST and cybersecurity. Our degrees are laid out such that students can customize them, really make them their own. So for example, at the graduate level, we have what are called stackable certificates. These are 4 course sequences. Students can pick 2 such stackable certificates and combine them with 2 other courses to create their master's degree. And I will talk a bit more about that shortly. But for those of you who are considering an undergraduate education, we also have 2+3 options where you can earn a master's degree in 5 years. And again, that is a great way to really understand and mature in the US education system, and then have a graduate degree at the end of the process. Our programs are highly accredited, and that comes from the fact that we are a research intensive university. So our faculty are engaged in creating research, writing papers, presenting at conferences. And why this is important is that it helps us to write the textbooks of tomorrow. So many people talk about research, but its connection to education is sometimes lost. When we do research, what essentially happens is we are solving problems. In our case, we are looking at business problems and cybersecurity related problems. And when we try to solve those problems, we write about them in journals. We present our findings at conferences. And those publications over time accumulate a body of knowledge which helps inform textbooks from which we teach successive generations of students. So everything we learn, every problem that we identify and try to find a solution to, we try to incorporate it into our teaching. We also encourage students to be involved with us in this process of discovery. And that's again a great opportunity for you to expand your own mindset and be engaged in cutting edge development of knowledge about the field. We also are a very vibrant department, and by that I mean our students are extremely, I would say, innovative, extremely dedicated. They make an impact in the community. They participate in various activities that we organize. We have several activities that we run each semester, which include guest speaker presentations, our own conferences, our own hackathons, competitions, where we want students to build their own skills, to build their own resume, so that they can be successfully placed after graduating. But to give you an idea, our website encompasses stories about our students, about their successes, about their giving back to the community, about their learning in our hackathons, about their participation in conferences and job fairs, our women's hackathon. Um, we especially are passionate about increasing diversity in our program, especially to have more representation of women in our programs. So we make significant effort at making that possible. We also have multiple scholarships that we award to students, and we constantly seek more such scholarships. As you can see, we are home to many international students. We have a very strong international student services organization at UMSL, where we make sure that students not only get to know each other, but have a easy transition to the US and to St. Louis. And there are many, many more. So I won't go much deeper. But I did want to talk a little bit more about our programs because I know that you would be interested in those. So our masters in information systems and technology and masters in cybersecurity, which I believe many of you are interested in, these are 30 credit programs. 30 credits means they are 10 course programs. As I mentioned, you can choose those 10 courses by focusing on certain specific specializations. We call them certificates. So we have a certificate in information systems and technology. This is the foundations of IT, which introduces students to programming, systems analysis, database management, and systems design. We also have a certificate in business intelligence, where we teach students how to analyze data, how to tell the story that data is informing us. So we teach students R and Python. We also utilize cloud services, both Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure for our data sets and for our analysis. And then we enable students to learn about data warehousing, data integration, where they can merge data from different sources so that they can be analyzed better, and using new techniques in artificial intelligence and analytics. Specific to cybersecurity, we have information security management and auditing certificate, where again we focus both on the technical and management aspects of cybersecurity, and then a core cybersecurity graduate certificate, where again we introduce cybersecurity from the ground up and go deeper into it. I also wanted to share some of our curriculum with you. My colleague, Dr. Vijaya Anand, will share more, but again, wanted to share the depth of our curriculum. And when I say that we are both applied and technical as well as managerial, you would see that in the courses that I present to you. So we teach students the foundations of systems and IT infrastructure, where they learn about the Linux and Windows server environments. They understand virtual machines and virtualization. Uh, we also teach the foundations of information security. This gives a very broad overview of the field, but we also incorporate hands-on labs in penetration testing, cryptography, vulnerability management. We also teach students about data networks and security, again, describing the various network layers and fundamentals of network security, network protocol analyzers, networking in virtual environments, etc. We also, being focused on management, uh, enable students to learn about project management both for IT and for uh, cybersecurity. We go deeper into advanced cybersecurity concepts, multi-level security architectures, network firewalls, virtualizations. Applied cryptography is another of our courses. Cloud security management, software assurance, management of information security, which is about policy, compliance, and risk management. And we end with a capstone in information security, where students take their skills and learn how to apply them in real world situations. Our program was developed from the ground up with the purpose of being accredited. So our programs are accredited by the National Security Agency and the Department of Homeland Security. Uh, we are considered a center of academic excellence in cyber defense education, one of very select universities to have that designation. And essentially, what that means is that the US federal government and its agencies choose to recruit from centers of academic excellence like UMSL. And being the choice of the government makes our designation also the gold standard for industry, which is why again we see considerable success in placing our students in jobs. I do want to mention that we have our cybersecurity website, which I would like to also share with you. So, cybersecurity at UMSL is really one of the best programs in the country. We have strong faculty, strong coursework, and also the highest designations, the NSA DHS Center of Academic Excellence. We have state-of-the-art cyber labs, many scholarship opportunities, and engaged faculty. So the fact that we can carry the seals of the US government's NSA and DHS on our website indicates that our curriculum meets the highest standards and is vetted for excellence. I will turn it over to my colleague, Dr. Vijay Anand, to talk a little bit more about cybersecurity at UMSL and also cybersecurity as it affects us in society. I know you have many questions, and Dr. Anand is absolutely the best person to address those. Dr. Anand, would you like to take over, and I will chime in as you also talk.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Vijay Anand, and I am an associate professor in the Department of Information Systems of Technology at University of Missouri St. Louis. I would like to thank Dr. Mirchandani, Priyanka, for organizing this event. And if you have any questions, you can email me at vijay.anand@umsl.edu if you further need any answers from me. Um, Looking at this, I also came to US 20 years back. And I was in the same shoes as the students are right now, looking at what to take, what not to take. And cybersecurity was not a field when I was deciding on my graduate studies in US. But eventually I came into the field of cybersecurity. But in the US education system does provide a really great structure for you to succeed. And both me and Dr. Mirchandani can vouch for it, that we have been very fortunate to have studied in such a system. It has improved our outlook over um, for all the world that we think about the technology as well as other aspects, the societal aspects, all those aspects, we have definitely benefited out of this education structure that we have. Um, uh, my story is a little different. I actually went to industry for a while. Um, I, I was in Motorola for a few years. Then I worked in a national lab called Argonne National Labs. And then I moved to academics as a professor. So I do have some of the industry background, and I still am pretty well connected in the industry, people who are making decisions at this point. So if you have any questions related to the industrial aspect of how cybersecurity is impacting, I can speak to it in a little bit of detail. So as Dr. Mirchandani showed about the program, the cybersecurity program at UMSL is essentially a program that has been designated by the NSA as a Center of Academic Excellence for Cyber Defense. It was the first program in Missouri to get that. So it's a pretty big honor for us to have that kind of reputation and for that kind of evaluation by the NSA to look at our program and say that this looks good, and we will put our batch on top of this program. So that's definitely a good thing. Um, but if we look into the program itself, the program, I'm pretty sure most of you or majority of you are looking at the master's program. The master's program essentially is a 30 credit hour program. And in this 30, and it's a STEM designated program. So many of you would want to know whether it is a STEM designated or not. It is a STEM designated program, which means you will have the opportunity to do co-ops as well as after OPT, which is very important for a lot of the students who come to US. So you will get the 27-month OPT with the STEM designated program. So that's definitely another element of that program that is good. Um, the other thing is that this program, there is computer science emphasis and information systems emphasis. Our goal in this is primarily on the information systems. And, I would like to borrow one of the examples that Dr. Mirchandani gives and change a little bit of it. I would like to think the computer science emphasis to be um, that of a biologist who studies disease, knows a lot of details about the disease, but the information systems is analogous to that of a doctor who knows of the disease, but can actually think of how to give some kind of medicine to cure the disease or do something like that. So the information systems and technology, I would emphasize on having a broader understanding of not just the technology, but the business under which the technology functions, the compliance under which the technology functions, as well as the processes that we have to be aware of. So all those elements, when we take into account legal, compliance, process, business risk, that makes it much more attractive for somebody who is in industry to hire a student coming out of the program, because industry person is looking at, or industry that hires students is looking for a well-rounded individual, and our program will definitely make sure that once you graduate from our program, you will be a well-rounded individual. So that doesn't mean that we don't talk about technology. We actually go pretty deep into the technology. We understand all the elements of the technology that typical computer science student would have, but we also have, we are not going to delve into a lot of the mathematics of the technology. We will more focus mostly on the business element of the technology, the risk analysis element of the technology, and how do we manage such technology in terms of compliance, business processes, governmental processes, like when we think of GDPR, that is so critical for businesses right now, as well as other privacy laws that come across. So how do we actually deal with it? And since cybersecurity is a field that is moving very fast, our structure allows us to adapt as the technology moves, or as the technology changes. very quickly due to the flexibility in our programs, flexibility in our objectives. Um, so the core courses still stay the same. You will have to know networks, you will have to know some bit of software assurance. But then along with that, you can elect cloud computing, applied cryptography. So when we think of applied cryptography, think of it as blockchains. When we do smart ledgers, cryptocurrency, those type of elements which will be taught in this curriculum. Along with that, we do have how do we manage people, how do we test for security, as well as other data elements that are integral part of security structures. Apart from that, we do have some coursework that you are free to choose. But it's provided that we can, or you can work with the faculty if you want to work on some research project. That option is also there. You can definitely work with the faculty on some type of research, like I work on IoT security. If you are interested, I would be more than happy to have some of you working on IoT security. I have other colleagues of mine who work in artificial intelligence. They would be very happy to have some students work on those technologies. So that element is always there within our program. We can definitely adapt to newer elements of cybersecurity. And since I've seen this technology close up from the industry, I actually was a architect in Motorola for a very long time. So I have seen this field evolve over time. So I can definitely vouch that our program will definitely make students who are well prepared for the industry. Um, in terms of the, if you look at uh, different kinds of competitions, so one of the elements that we try is to make it a good enough program is to encourage students to compete. They should be very good at what they do, and they should know when they compete against others, can they do well. So there are various competitions that we hold at UMSL. We actually hold a conference called as STL CyberCon, and within that we have a competition, a capture the flag competition. Beyond that, we have just started competing in the collegiate cyber defense competition, and in that also you should be able to participate, and that's a fun competition to be in. Of course, since the cybersecurity field is new and evolving, um, we should be able to um, uh, you should be able to look at all the different things that are available, like nice challenges, the IPM academic initiative and things like those. I saw a question about cyber threats. So the cyber threats that in our curriculum, we do go over the threat modeling process. Um, we definitely go over how to do risk analysis based on threat model, how to write policies based on threat model. All those elements are covered within our curriculum, and if we think of threats, both internal, external, countrywide, or state-sponsored threats, all elements of threats are covered. You will also get to use tools that potentially cover all kinds of threat mitigation, as well as as well. If you want to attack, you can also attack, but we will also teach you how to mitigate against those attacks. So definitely there is a major emphasis on the threats and the risk associated with such threat, and how do you write policies um, to mitigate such threats. So I actually um, just gave a threat modeling assignment to my students in my course just last week, and I have to grade it this week. So it's definitely a part of our curriculum, a core part of our curriculum. The element to think about it is if it is an NSA designated school, we have to teach such topics. It is not a, it's very hands-on analysis, very detailed with respect to the different threat models that we have, as well as useful in the real world, that you can take to industry and apply within an industry. Um, I know that I was given a bunch of questions. One question that was provided was about cyber insurance. One thing to remember that cyber insurance until now has been mostly a nebulous structure. There was no fundamental idea about what is it that constitutes cyber insurance. There is a NIST effort that is ongoing right now, which puts some structure around the cyber insurance. NIST is National Institute of Standards and Technology in US. They actually give out documents about the standardization of any specific topic. And they just gave out, they have a draft topic on 8286 that deals with cyber insurance. Its commenting period just closed in August. And I'm pretty sure by next semester, we will have some elements of it being taught in our courses. So that's definitely there. And if you look at our academic structure and the lab structure, we definitely have the virtual labs and the physical labs. We do have a cyber range kind of structure where you can log in from wherever and do all your cyber exercises. We also give students, students can get some Amazon credits and Google credits also. So that's also there. So that's basically what our our lab infrastructure would be. As a faculty, if they want you to do something, they will definitely give you the required lab structure, whether it is on our virtual structure or on Google or Amazon, they will definitely give you, and you should be able to use that within the curriculum. But it's a very hands-on program, so it is expected that you have to know how to work with infrastructure type elements before you graduate from our program. Beyond that, I do have some other questions. Do I answer that right now, or do I answer it during the Q&A?
So it would be better because we have a bunch of questions. Students have put a lot of questions, so it would be great if we answer the questions after you complete the PPT.
Oh, I don't have a PPT. This is just a website we are just going through.
Yeah, so we can take the Q&A after I think Ms. Priyanka also gonna speak about some slides about your university. So we can take Q&A 10 or 15 minutes after we finish this off,
okay,
because we have a lot of questions of students.
Sure.
Is it okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, sir.
So I think some of the questions that was there, how effective is our cybersecurity strategy at addressing business risk? Business risk is taught both NIST standards of business risk as well as business risk measurement. It is taught in multiple courses. So any student that comes through our curriculum will have some kind of understanding of how to do risk analysis and risk mitigation. So in my course right now that I'm teaching, they have to actually go over risk analysis of a well-established web service and how do we actually measure the risk based on the software mix that we have, the software hardware mix that we have. Then the next question was, how do we protect sensitive information handled and stored by third-party vendors? There is a huge emphasis on encryption and encryption technologies, as well as security and privacy of encrypted content. Those elements are covered in multiple courses. In the fundamentals course, the networking course, as well as the principles course, elements of certificates, symmetric, asymmetric, symmetric, asymmetric encryption, all those elements are covered in those course. So you should be able to definitely get a fundamental understanding about sensitive data protection and how data moves from point A to point B, how it is stored, both at the premises or on third party, and the risk associated with it. That's definitely covered within our coursework. Um, do we have the right data governance strategy to minimize cybercrime? Um, so we do have a course that goes primarily on this. This course is called it's 3878. It's Information Security Risk Management and Business Continuity. Um, and in this course, it goes over all these elements of data governance. And so since it is based out of the NIST, we will always use the NIST as a standard. The NIST and the FIPS standards are fundamental for us to make sure that whatever we teach falls under that. So everything is taught in context of the NIST, and that is perfectly a valid approach. Even if some other government take the NIST documents, they will have something very similar to NIST. It won't be way off other than NIST. So it should not give any, you should be able to adapt it to any other governmental standards that cover the cybercrime or data governance strategies. So that's definitely covered within our curriculum. And it is covered in multiple courses. That is one of the courses, and there is other data risk courses that are advanced, a little bit more advanced if you want to go that route, that will be covered there. And if you really want to go into the detail, we have a software security course in which they actually go into low-level details of how data governance can be guaranteed at the lowest minimum level. Um, then I think the next question was, how do we stay current on the cyber threat landscape? So staying current requires a lot of reading on your own. So if you want to go for certificates, if you want to enhance your um, current knowledge, you have to, if you do some kind of project with the professors who are more than willing to work with you, um, so those elements are definitely there within our program. And you can, all the professors that you're going to meet within our program will definitely show you pathways by which you can stay current. But at the end of the day, you have to, as a student, you have to take it upon yourself to look out for information, participate in competitions, participate in conferences, go to conferences, go to like life, my take is go to DEF CON if you really want to get to know some of the cool technologies or black hat. You should go there. Means we encourage it. I go there. I really enjoy those sessions. I have great friends who have presented there. And my goal is to also present there someday. So you are more than welcome to go and learn more about cyber on your own, but we will guide you as you look for this information. So that would be my answers to those questions. And do I pass over to Mr. Kamal?
Yes, thank you so much, sir, for your words. For it's great university. I think UMSL people definitely it's a tier 1 university. So we have received some questions of students. It's these are much of them are the technical questions. So the
Sure.
questions are: what are the various career prospects of an IT professional? For example, somebody has studied computer science engineering or any IT course. So what are the various career options that in which industry they can work for?
So if you have like a background in IT, you can definitely work in like if somebody really likes to write code, they can become software engineers for sure.
Okay.
That's a very simple pathway that has existed for like 40, 50 years now. So you should be able to take that. The other pathway is if you want to go as an IT manager or IT analyst, that is another pathway for a lot of our students. There's a pathway for system analyst that also that mixes IT with business. That's on another pathway. Um, for if you I think there is some disturbance. I'm not sure from where. Um, uh, Apart from that, if you go for like there are a lot of business analysts that are actually their business analyst position that actually go over a lot of IT elements on it. So that
Okay.
those are other pathways also available. If you're really interested in hardware, though, there are there are definitely pathways for hardware. Yeah, my background is in computer engineering, so I come from real hardware engineering kind of background. So you can definitely work at Intel, Qualcomm. They do look for a lot of engineers there. They always keep on hiring because the world keeps shrinking um, in their dies. So they really are looking for a lot of people in that area. So you will definitely get a lot of options in the hardware field also.
Okay.
Dr.
Okay.
Michandani, do you want to
Sir,
add something there?
as we know the technology.
Okay, go ahead.
I think you covered it, Vijay. Go ahead, Kamal.
Yes, sir. As we know that technology is growing every day, right? So, do you think that what is the future of artificial intelligence? Do you think that robots are gonna replace human beings in some industries?
They will, but that doesn't mean that we should not embrace the technology. They will means there are some places where robots
Mm,
will definitely replace humans, but that also means that there are many more other avenues that are going to open up. So uh, technology, when I was growing up. And I was trying to decide between computers and um, engineering, like hardcore engineering, like mechanical and all that stuff. People told that computers are going to take over everything. There is not going to be any more jobs at that time. But if we look at 2020, I think the number of jobs from computing has actually increased.
increase.
Than what it was there. So, there should be no fear of technology. Yeah, artificial intelligence is there. It is definitely going to help us. But there is also going to be a big explosion of different types of other jobs that we don't consider right now.
Mm,
I can give you one example. If you think of smart roads are, we don't even think about smart roads right now. So if we have AI in smart roads, we need people who can actually put the AI in that smart road. There is so much road to be made intelligent. So I don't see how we won't have jobs in the near future if even AI comes into play. Somebody has to manage it, somebody has to maintain it, somebody has to install it, somebody has to update it, and all that is software that we have to somehow write, manage, integrate, and all that stuff. So I really don't have any fear for AI. Yes, we should be careful about it, but we shouldn't fear it.
Correct. If I can add to that, just like the plow made agriculture more advanced, enabled us to produce more food, I think AI and related technologies will just enable humans to do things that we are better suited for, that will enable us to apply our intellect to even bigger problems. So I think they will solve some of the problems that are taking up energy that can easily be delegated.
Great. So as we know that during COVID-19, we have been using the technology more as compared to before COVID-19. People use the world is using technology. So what are there are a lot of cyber threats. There are a lot of cyber security issues. So what are the different types of cyber security threats, and how the corporates and various organizations can avoid these cyber threats?
So in terms of the threats that were there prior to us using technology, they still do exist. They haven't gone away, which means the best
Okay.
practices that we always had, if we don't follow it, we will always be a prey to those threats. That is always there. But since we are all, the number of people that are online right now are significantly higher. Um, I would say that the threats, the surface area for the threats has increased because we are always online, or we are trying to do all of our businesses online. So the surface area has increased. That's definitely something for us uh, to think about and understand. How do we protect the surface area that exists today? But in terms of fundamental mechanisms to protect against those threats, those mechanisms haven't changed. Good security that was true before COVID is true at COVID and will be true after COVID. So good security is always it's going to be there irrespective. But the thing is, since the surface area has increased, how many people do know of what is good security? So that is the challenge right now. Have we able? So our primary goal should be to communicate to a larger group of people about the security threats that do exist, and it's more of an education problem rather than
Okay.
the core technology problem at this point.
Correct. And if I can add, I think it's also opened up the opportunity, new careers in information security, auditing, IT auditing, which really enables organizations to monitor their assets, monitor their surface area better. So again, we are getting better at understanding the vulnerabilities and protecting ourselves.
Okay.
And I would also add to that that AI is playing a big role in that. You probably might have seen this tool called as Splunk. That is becoming one of the most important tools of automated responses to threats because the surface area has increased. So a lot of the AI tools are actually helping us mitigate that.
Okay, great, sir. Sir, what are we also discussed about cryptocurrency? So it's in India. It's not much in use, but still people are aware of it. So what are your like point of views about cryptocurrency? What is the future? It's like Bitcoin, and how the things will be after 2 years or 5 years later. It's a digital currency, if I'm not wrong.
Right, right. So my take is that it is going to coexist with regular currency for the foreseeable future, but it will be an alternative form that will exist in different aspects for especially when we have international transactions. Bitcoin
Mhm.
type technology are very easy for somebody to do commerce. So that's why
Okay.
countries are coming up with cryptocurrency as their fundamental currency structure, along with the existing currencies, like hard currencies that we have. So we will definitely see cryptocurrency expand in the near future, but I don't see it totally replacing existing currency in the near future. Maybe, if we extrapolate it to 20, 30 years, maybe that is possible. But in the near future, I don't see that happening.
Okay.
So cryptocurrencies are an application of blockchain, Kamal. So we do see blockchain as potentially becoming a major force in business, especially in various other applications where the distributed ledger uh, enables us to keep track of assets and other records. So there is great potential in blockchain technology from my perspective, and cryptocurrencies are just one application.
Okay. So, so it will be useful after 10 years or 15 years. It will be much useful. Yeah, that's great.
It's
So,
actually used right now. I also own some cryptocurrency. I will tell you that I do own some cryptocurrency because I love to play with tech. So I will always attempt to get some tech, some handle of tech.
great.
So it is still used, and I can use to buy stuff, and I can pay people using crypto. That is always there, but it is not going to be. It's not going to replace like regular monetary currency that we use in
Fiat
everyday life.
currency, yeah.
Yeah, sir, we know that the future world is the digital world. So in India, people are not much
Yeah,
aware about
correct.
this
So
Bitcoin and these
it will
things.
not
Some people are,
replace
but
fiat currency, that is currency backed by nations.
okay, sir. So
Yeah.
one more question of students: how do we protect sensitive information handled and stored by third-party vendors? Because there are some corporates who outsource their work, outsource their data to some vendors or some private organizations. So how they can check these vendors to how they can protect the data there, because the companies are always based on the data. So how they can protect their personal data to the third parties?
Yeah, so for protecting data for third parties, the only solution that is encryption. How encryption is used, um, and where are the keys? That's basically how protection can be guaranteed. When we talk about end-to-end protection, um, encryption is the key technology that plays into it. So, and when we talk about encryption, we have to talk about good quality encryption. We cannot talk about like low quality encryption. If we do have good quality encryption, we should be able to protect our data um, at third party. It's not difficult. So means if you think about storing data in the cloud, if you
Okay.
if you if you use good encryption behave, structures, you should be able to guarantee your data security at any third party premises without any fear.
Great. Sir, according to you, as a like there are some we have some computer science students as well. So we have a question that as a computer science student, what is more important? Does they require more practical skills or they require some academic skills in the future? Because engineering is all about all about the science, all about the practical skills as well. So which is more important? What are the key areas which an engineer student should focus on during their degree?
So I can tell you that I also started as an engineer in India. I did my engineering in India, and in terms of skills, theoretical skills are okay, but theoretical skills can only take you so far. Um, and if you really want to be a theoretical researcher, then that is very good. You should
Okay.
continue in that path. If you really care about being like you want to create the next greatest crypto in the world, by knowing a lot of math or understanding a lot of math, then you should go for that. And I wouldn't discourage anybody to take that path, because those are also important roles in our society. Um, if somebody wants to do like compiler design or something like that, and they want to do a lot of algorithm analysis, they should go for that. Means there is nothing wrong in that structure. But if you really care about uh, business solutions, where businesses are going to hire you to solve a problem, I think practical skills become more important. Um, when I say practical skills, what I mean is they should know their theory really well, but they should be able to apply their theory in a practical structure. That is where the important element is. uh, you should not be a person who does not know what they are doing, but they're just following a steps of instructions. They should know what they are doing, and they should be able to apply themselves based on the problem they are seeing in front of them. So just to use a phrase, thinking on your feet, that's basically what it is. You will always face a challenge whenever you see a problem in a business structure, and you have to fall back on your uh,
Okay,
background and practical knowledge to solve that problem.
great. Uh, so these are the questions which we have received, and I hope students have cleared all their. They have learned a lot from you, because so now I request Miss Priyanka. She can tell us about more about your university, their rankings and scholarships to the students, because in the CGC we have a lot of partner universities as well, in which we have been working for various exchange programs. So we can definitely look with the collaboration with UMSL later, after we discuss the things.
Sure. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Kamal, and thank you, Dr. Mirchandani and Dr. Vijayanand. It was wonderful, and I'm sure our students actually got to know not just about UMSL courses which you're offering. However, in the Q&A, they actually got a lot of technical questions answered by you, and thank you for your time for that. Now I'll share across a little bit information. I'll not take much of your time, I'm sure, because we can interact later on also. If you have questions related to admission with the University of Missouri St. Louis, you can get in touch with Kamal Preet and the team. And you can speak to me virtually, because right now that's a medium. And whenever it would be possible, I'll personally also meet you all to share details about our programs and courses which we offer. So we have over 50 bachelor's and 43 graduate degrees with different majors and minors. So over, I would say, 100 program options is what we have there for you to offer you, be it in College of Arts and Sciences, College of Business Administration, education, nursing, social work. And very interesting, we have a joint engineering program with Washington University of St. Louis, wherein students will get to study with the Washington University of St. Louis as well as UMSL. It's going to be joint degree. That's there in civil, electrical, and mechanical at an undergraduate level. This is a little bit about our admission standard. This is more on US grade. So I'll talk about what is there as per Indian standards, and try to make it as simple as possible. If you are interested for an undergraduate admission, we're looking at 58% and plus. IELTS, PT, TOEFL, everything is accepted. And considering the current COVID-19 situation, we have started accepting Duolingo also, which is at 85 and 90. And when we talk about our graduate admission, I would request you to please get for our different programs. We actually have different requirements, but to keep things very simple, we are looking at 68% and above. We do accept backlogs, which is a great thing. However, I would recommend not beyond 3 backlogs if you have any. Again, IELTS, PT, and TOEFL, everything is accepted. Duolingo, again, which is accepted, that is at 105 and 110. Apart from that, we have got certain prerequisites, as we had a session today about our department also. So if you're interested for admission with computer sciences, so we want you to be from a computer sciences background, that you must have done C, C++, Java, SQL, Math, Calculus as your prerequisites. So for certain programs, we have got prerequisite, and the best part is We have waived off GRE and GMAT requirements also for few of the programs. University has taken a wonderful step to support our students, considering that it is tough to go for these competitive exams. So for many of our programs like MSIST, which is Masters of Science in Information System Technology, we have got our GRE and GMAT waived off. For our MBA, we have got our GRE and GMAT waived off for our spring 2021 intake. And for future, I'll keep you posted. And the best part is, if you want to apply, you can get in touch with Kamalpreet, and we have also waived off our application fee, which is of $40. So need not to pay any application fee to apply to us. And admission is like, you need not to shed, because this is also, we are trying to support our students considering the current situations. This is a fee structure for our undergraduate student. This is an approximate fee, because the exact fee is calculated on the basis of the number of credits which you choose. So this is approximate 23,436 at an undergraduate level. Do not worry, we have wonderful scholarship options to offer you, starting from $6,000 to $14,000 for undergraduate students. And this housing, meals, health insurance, personal expenses is all exaggerated amounts. It is inclusive of everything, whatever you can think of while you stay in USA, be it your books expenses or a little bit of shopping expenses, everything is included. So this is an exaggerated amount. So 40,500 is the fund show which you have to show in your bank statement. So this is for this purpose only. However, the fee will come down along with the scholarship, because I'm sure CGC has got a lot of scholars and I would say the great students with good percentages. So you will be able to get a better scholarship. And for a graduate student, this is our approximate fees. As again, I would say the actual fee is calculated on the basis of the number of credits which you choose. So this is an approximate fees for our graduate students. And now I'll take you to our scholarships. So we have scholarships completely on the basis of the GPA. So which starts from 6,000 to 14,000, as I mentioned, for our undergraduate students, and for graduate it starts from 5,000 to $6,000. So there is no extra criteria to earn a scholarship. You will be given scholarship, or you will be awarded scholarship completely on the basis of your percentage. So the better the percentage is, the better scholarship is what you're going to earn. Transcripts requirements. So since you are studying with CGC, so we would require the official transcripts from your end, which means that your transcript should be in sealed envelope sent across to UMSL for admission. We do not require the transcript. However, before the commencement of classes, we would require these transcripts. So what you can do is either you can share them across, or in case of emergency situation, shipping is not possible for now. While traveling down to USA, you can carry your transcript, which would be sealed envelope, and it should not be opened. Also, your IELTS, PTE, TOEFL, or whatever English proficiency test you go through, carry that along with you, or get that sent from your testing centers directly to the university. They do that. Even GRE and GMAT also, if it's required, you can do that. So we have different program options. I know that CGC have students from fashion background, from pharmacy background, from engineering background, and so on. So whatever background student you have, we have program options for all of you. It's just like depends on where your interest lies. So and that too, we are a tier one institution, as said by Kamal in the beginning of the session. And as per the World Report ranking, you would know that there are a lot of US institutions which come on the top. And we with AMSL, I would say we are top 6% institution worldwide. And the quality of education is something which you're really going to cherish all throughout your life, and especially with the support of the wonderful faculty members and the staff, and the other different departments which are there in AMSL are going to make your student journey as smooth as possible. So this was a little bit about AMSL. We believe in transforming lives, and so is you will feel once you'll reach out there and complete your degree. And our degree quality is as such, because of which reason I would say, and it is evident that more than 94% of our recent graduate, which is a very big number, so they either get into job market, or they get into volunteering work or business, or they get into further education within a short stretch of time. So this was a little bit about the details of University of Missouri, if you want to take an admission with us, and we'll be happy to welcome you.
Thank you so much, Priyanka ma'am, for sharing the things about your university. It was wonderful time. It was wonderful to have the impeccable speakers from your university, and it was wonderful to know more about your university. Definitely, we can see some student movement at your university from CGC, and thanks a lot. Thank you so much to all the speakers.
Thank you, Kamal. Thank you, Priyanka.
Thank you, Kamal. Thank you, CGC team, for having us here. And hopefully, we'll keep on doing more sessions like this with more technical questions coming in from your end and helping the students to know about the particular topic which they are interested in. And thank you so much, Dr. Vijay, Anand, and Dr. Mirchandani for your help and support.
Thank
You're
you. Thank
most
you.
welcome. Yes, thank you. And thank you all to the students. Thank you for your interest in UMSL and for your interest in further education. And we wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, on behalf of CGC family. So we'll definitely look some sort of collaboration or work later after we discuss with Priyanka. So thank you once again for your wonderful time, for your wonderful words about your university and the topic. So thanks again. Have a nice day.
Bye.